What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, I'm just going to do a quick little update on Bitcoin, exactly what's going to happen next. Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? And if we're going to go down, how low are we going to go? As well as discuss Ethereum just a little bit and tell you exactly where ETH is going to go, as well as what's going to happen to the crypto markets during the next 3 days. So if you want to find out exactly which levels that I'm going to advise you to buy Bitcoin as well as other altcoins at, you're going to want to watch till the end of this video. Immediately, let's kick things off with Bitcoin. So if you were in the private group yesterday, I already called that Bitcoin is going to go up to at least 34.7k during the weekly close, and at the moment we have got just that, right? Weekly close was here. We've got a Bitcoin pump up to about 34,650, and at the moment we're getting rejected. And right now I'm going to explain why I think that Bitcoin is going to go down from here, and to explain exactly why I thought Bitcoin was going to come up to about 34,700 before getting rejected, we're going to have to discuss the theory of order blocks. Basically, I based this trade off of an institutional trading concept, and if you've been following my Twitter for a while, you know that I like to do this institutional trading stuff, and I'm not just making this stuff up. So basically, if you just take a look at this massive move that right here, you notice that this move started, right? This was the last bullish candle, or rather this was the last bullish candle before this massive move downwards. This is what you call a bearish order block, and it's basically an area where institutions will like to push the price to in order to continue the move. And usually what retail will do is they'll think, oh hey, Bitcoin is being bullish right now, we should buy when, you know, Bitcoin gets to this level. But if you've been in the private group, or if you just simply been following me on my Twitter, I've already been saying that Bitcoin is going to go down soon, like very soon. And if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto, you're going to want to do that, because that's where I'm sharing the latest market updates and you don't want to miss out. So if you just take a look at this order block right here, we came up exactly to fill it before moving downwards. And the reason why order blocks work is because you need to understand that the institutions are the only ones that can move the markets. Institutions are the ones doing this and this and this, this, okay, not that, but like this. This was done by institutions, right? Whenever you see big candles and very confident moves, you know that it's being done by institutions, because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones who are putting in multiple hundreds of millions of dollars at a time. So you have to understand, as retail traders, there is no way that we can fight the institutions, so try to follow in their footsteps. So for example, this was caused by retail, this is retail, and this is 100% institutions, right? Notice how they are pushing the price deliberately to the order block before dumping it. And that is how you know they're leaving their footprints over here right now, and they're telling you that it's going to go down. The institutional footprints are telling you Bitcoin is dumping. They pushed the price up to a bearish order block just so they could do what? Dump it. That's why I do believe that Bitcoin is about to take a massive nosedive. Not only that, if we just come on to the Bitcoin historical volatility index, and if you haven't already, familiarized yourself with this chart, you're going to want to do so. So the way that I use this chart is I simply go onto the daily chart and I just plot out, right? I zoom out and I just take a look, right? Where has historically BVOL found support? So for example, it found support here, it tended to find support, quite, you could say here, but these two are the support lines, and over here, these 3 lines are resistance lines. Now, what this chart tells you, and again, this chart is called BVOL 24 hour, you only want to use the BVOL with the 4 hourly and the daily chart. So what this tells you is how volatile Bitcoin is going to be. So whenever you find BVOL get back to support, you know that the volatility on Bitcoin has been reset, which means that a big move is likely to come soon. So based on this theory, if we just take a look back at 20th of May, when we had this massive spike on BVOL, so 12th of May, it started on 12th of May. If we go back to the 12th of May on Bitcoin, you can see that BVOL was the one that caused this massive move downwards. So right now, BVOL has been completely reset. We haven't been this low since literally the 10th of April, if you can just see here, which means just prepare for a very large move on Bitcoin. And I do believe that the target for this massive move is going to be at about 27k. Right now it's still a bit early to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised if we dumped all the way down to 27k. So considering this, the $1 million question would be, which is what all of you are here for, is what trade do I take then? Do I go short? Do I go long? What am I supposed to do here? So in this case, I would actually advise you to go short on Bitcoin. If you ever get a retest back into this order block, which I really doubt by the way, you are going to want to go short at about 34,600-ish. But I doubt you're going to get a retest back into the order block, because banks, or at least institutions, they like to just push the price in and then let it dump. So right now, your alternative short entries is going to be to play using the EMAs. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm simply bringing up, so if you just go onto the indicators, just bring up some EMAs, go onto the 4 hourly or even the 1 hourly chart, and enable a 200 EMA, that's this purple line right here, a 100 EMA, which is this orange, and the 50 EMA, which is this gray line right here. So you're going to want to enable all 3 EMAs, and you're going to want to go onto the 1 hourly chart or the 4 hourly chart. In this case, I'm going to use the 1 hourly, and you're going to want to dollar cost average a short position using the EMAs. So for example, you're going to want to place a short order at about 33,800. So if the price does retest this EMA, this is called a pullback, right? Because right now we have identified that the trend is towards the downside. So any moves towards the upside is what you call a pullback, and you should be shorting the pullbacks until otherwise proven so. Just to further explain to you why I think we're going down, if we just come on to the 4 hourly chart, you can see that this candle right here, notice how the low of this candle is shorter, or like lower, than the previous 2 candles next to it. And this is what you call a swing low. And at the moment, you can see that we have completely violated this swing low, which means if the next move upwards does not form a higher high, and higher high basically just, if the next move does not bring Bitcoin back up to 34,800 at least, then it's going to form a lower high. So right now, we're getting a lower low, we're getting a lower high, and if the next one breaks this level right here at 33k, then 100% you can guarantee we are going back to 31k. Now, before I get into why I say Bitcoin will go back to 31.6k, we're going to need to finish up our short first. So we're going to dollar cost average our shorts using the EMAs. So in this case, you're going to want to place a short at 33,800, and you're going to want to place a stop loss, preferably below a recent swing high. So in this case, we're going to place our stop loss at 34k. That is a pretty safe stop loss because it's really tight. It's not even a percent. So if you want something that is slightly wider, you're going to want to put your stop loss at about 34,500 above this swing high right here. So this is going to be your short entry. So let's just put it in here. You're going to want to place your stop loss at about there, and your profit target is actually, right, I'm calling it right now, I'm actually sniping Bitcoin to go to about 31,600 to about 31,650. Now, the reason for this is if we come onto the 1 hourly chart, and if we zoom way back, like way back to about 2 weeks ago, right, onto 27th of June, you can see that this massive move on Bitcoin, this massive move on Bitcoin began over here. And if you remember what I said about institutions, you know that institutions are the ones pushing the price up. This is not retail, okay? And remember what I said about order blocks. So in this case, this is a bearish order block, and this is going to be a bullish order block. So will you agree that this massive move upwards started with this little block here, like this bearish block? So we're going to want to mark down this block, and this block. So this 3 levels, like these 3 levels from 32k down to 31k, this is going to be your bullish order block, which means right now, remember, institutions will always push price around order blocks. They will just literally play around with order blocks. So if you just take a look here, this was an order block, because this massive move up started here, and look where the price came down to fill the order block before moving higher. And this, you can catch traces of this everywhere. Like, I'm talking everywhere. So for example, this is going to be your order block, right? Price comes up to the order block, dumps, right? Right now, this is the order block, price comes up to the order block, dumps. So you best believe that this stuff works. So our profit target for this short is actually going to be from 32k to 31.6k. And if you're looking to buy Bitcoin, you're going to want to do so at these 2 levels. And your stop loss for buying Bitcoin is going to be at 31k. Right, just move it slightly down, right? Your stop loss is just going to be right below the order block. So in this case, I would actually put it just a little bit below at 30.7k. So that's going to be your stop loss for buying this bullish order block. As for your short, just remember you're shorting the pullback down to about here. And if you make profits on this, that would be amazing. And if you do happen to make profits on this, then 100% you're going to want to check out the private Discord group where literally I'm calling snipes like this every single day. If you want to stop getting confused about what Bitcoin's going to do next, and you just want to be guided by somebody who knows exactly what Bitcoin is going to do, like literally I'm calling exactly what Bitcoin is going to do like every single day. I give you an analysis. If you're interested in that, you're going to want to check out the link in the description and join the private group. Anyways, that is about Bitcoin. So what are some lower targets for Bitcoin? In this case, we're going to actually zoom out onto the 4-hourly chart, and we are going to mark down the level at 27k or about 27.2k. We're going to want to mark down this level at 29k. Let's just call it 30, as well as 28.9k. And if you're still wondering if if I know what I'm talking about, you can just scroll back onto my Twitter, and you know that previously, during the previous dump, I actually called this massive move downwards like exactly to the dollar. I was calling this days or even weeks in advance, and I gave the exact bottom for Bitcoin. So I'm not gonna pitch that here, but just check out my Twitter, yeah? So these are going to be your lower targets for Bitcoin, and you will only consider these targets if you break below this order block. That means if you break below 30k, I won't even consider buying Bitcoin at 28.9k. I'm just gonna straight up set an order at about 27k. You can give or take, 27.5 to about 27.2. So remember, right now, Bitcoin is going to go down. So you're going to want a dollar cost average, a short and over here. And this is going to be a very safe entry because you have a 2% stop loss to about 5 to 6% worth of profits. You're going to want to buy Bitcoin from 32,000 to 31,600. And you're going to want to set your stop loss at about 30,700. And if Bitcoin breaks below 30k, then expect 27.3k. Those are going to be your trades for Bitcoin, and right now I'm giving you the exact levels that you should be paying attention to, and if you are not even willing to mark down these levels on your own chart, then there is nothing more that I can do for you. So now let's move on to Ethereum, shall we? Ethereum, you can see, recently just broke below this massive rising wedge, and I've been calling this, and if you were in the private Discord group, you would have known this was coming days in advance. I was calling the short on Ethereum in the private group. Just a little humble brag, and I'm just saying, if you want to make the right plays in the market, you're going to want to check out the private Discord group, yeah? So currently, before we even talk about Ethereum, you're going to need to understand what is happening with Bitcoin dominance. Recently, you can see that we have found perfect support on this line at 44.69, and at the moment, it has broke above the EMAs on the 4-hourly, right? The EMAs, again, if you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know that I always like to say the 50, 100, and 200 EMAs are always going to be dynamic support and resistances, and pretty strong ones at that. So until we break below these 3 EMAs on Bitcoin dominance, you're going to want to expect altcoins to not move well. And right now, if we come back down to find support on the 200 EMAs or the other EMAs, and it bounces up, then you're going to expect your altcoins to bleed. And again, this matches our theory of BVOL, right? As BVOL goes up, not pretty much, 7 times out of 10, whenever we get a spike in Bitcoin volatility, it has tended to result in a dump on Bitcoin. And if you have been in crypto for any amount of time, you know that if Bitcoin dumps, everything follows. So if Bitcoin dumps, altcoins are going to dump. And when altcoins dump, Bitcoin dominance is going to rise. And so you're going to get a massive dump on altcoins as well. And if we just come back onto ETH BTC, you can see that at the moment, we have fallen below this key level at 0.0628-ish, and until we reclaim, or at least reclaim the EMAs on ETH BTC on the 4-hourly chart, it's going to be, I would say it is not going to be very pretty for altcoins, especially if Bitcoin takes a dump as well. So in this case, now that we know that Ethereum is looking pretty bearish, I'm not going to fire off an ETH trade, but what I can fire off is where are the best prices for you to get Ethereum. And immediately, if we just go back onto the 4-hourly chart, you can see that we have a beautiful order block from 1896 down to even 1800. So this is a 4% deviation in this case. So the way we determine what is the best price to dollar cost average is going to be simply to draw a fib, and then we mark down the 0.618 level in between these 2 order blocks. So this is going to be your second DCA point. So if you were looking to get ETH, I would highly suggest picking some up at 1896 and 1862. These are going to be brilliant order blocks, and your stop loss is going to be just slightly below this level at perhaps 1800. In this case, your risk is going to be fairly low, so this is about 3.5% to 4%, and your profit target is actually going to be at a previous high, so in this case about here or even here. So I don't know about you, but a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio sounds pretty good to me. So if you do get stopped out of ETH from this level, and especially if Bitcoin falls below 30k, then you're going to expect ETH to drop even lower, and in this case you're going to want to look at 1567 to 1545. Now the reason why is because these are order blocks. Alright, now if you get stopped out of this ETH trade, now right now we're on the daily chart so that we can identify some higher time frame levels. So if you do get stopped out of this ETH trade, then you're going to want to look to get ETH at 1614. Now this level is going to be pretty strong support, but not as strong as 1365 and 1243. I do believe that these two levels are going to be the absolute bottom for ETH, even if Bitcoin drops, to 27k or even 24k. Actually, if Bitcoin drops to 24k, yeah, actually, these two would be the bottoms. So this is what you're going to do for ETH, right? 1900 to 1862, you're going to want to buy some ETH there. That's your stop loss. Otherwise, you're just going to buy ETH at 1614 or 1615. You're going to buy ETH at 1365 and you're going to buy ETH at 1243. Right now, I'm giving you the exact levels, so make sure you mark them down. And the way you use these levels, similar to Bitcoin. And again, right now, I'm giving you these short targets, right? Let's say if you short Bitcoin and it falls below 30k, then you're just going to keep your short open. In that case, your short would actually yield about 20%, right? You take profit over here, right? Your final take profit. Perhaps you can consider taking the rest of your profit at about 24k as well, but I'm not going to count on that personally. About 24.4k. That will be the absolute bottom for this Bitcoin move if we do dump there. But for now, you're going to want to focus on 31.6 for Bitcoin, or 32 to 31.6 for Bitcoin. And for Ethereum, you're going to want to focus on 1896 to 1862. Try not to consider these lower targets just yet. A lot of people, they look at these prices and they're like, yo, if I can get ETH at 750, why would I buy here? No, you dollar cost average. Basically, as the price is coming down, you buy 25% here, you buy 25% here, you buy 25% here, and you buy the rest here. That's called dollar cost averaging, because nobody knows exactly where's the bottom. Now you might think, hey, I know the bottom's going to be at 1000, but what if the price comes to here and bounces? Then, you won't have any position. So I would much rather you dollar cost average, have a plan, and just dollar cost average, yeah? And remember, right now, I'm not even going to pitch this group as, hey, come in here and you're going to get massive profits every day. But if that's what you want, just take a look at the profits page. Look, we're making money every single day. There have been multiple people that have already paid off their membership in just a couple of trades. So if you're interested to get access to these kinds of calls, then you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. But the way that I'm going to pitch this is, if you're serious about doing crypto or trading for a living, you're going to want to check out this private Discord group, because over here you're going to get the best trading education that will ensure you are going to be successful as a trader. Now look at this guy. This guy started 3 months ago, joined the group 1 week ago, and in just the first week he's already learned way more than in the past 3 months. It's just stuff like this. So if you're serious about doing crypto or trading and you just want to start off on the right foot, right, you want to filter out the noise, because 90% of things don't work. So if you just want to get something that works, you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. The link is in the description. Right now, the monthly memberships are already closed and it will not be open until further notice, because I like to be able to give focused attention to every single member in the group. So if you're interested to get focused attention, you're going to want to sign up. Anyways, if you pay with crypto right now, you can get up to 40% off. So make sure you head to the link in the description and check it out. So at the moment, I know I have been pretty bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but honestly, I'm just trading what the charts are telling me. Bitcoin volatility index is very reset. Bitcoin dominance has found support on a support line, and right now it's bouncing. ETH BTC just lost a key level, and Bitcoin has just filled a bearish order block. So for now, at least in the near future, probably in the next few days, just expect some bearishness in the charts. And as traders, remember, you can play the charts both ways. You're not confined to simply buying Bitcoin. But if you want, these are going to be the levels. Remember, I know I've covered a lot in this video, and if there's anything that you're unclear of, you're going to want to watch this video again, right? Because this is literally stuff that I'm sharing in my private Discord group. And if you watch until this level so far, I want you to comment down in the comment section trader, so that I know who are the real ones who took the time to watch this video to the end, so that you can be way ahead of everyone else. And with that said, my friend, I will see you in the private Discord group if you're serious about doing this for a trading, if you're serious about doing this for a living, and you just want to start off on the right foot with the proper guidance. May the gains be with you, and peace, my friend.